TYT Sports, everybody, Ben Mankewicz. So it's not often that I'm incredibly right, and I'd like to tell you when I am. So we did a show here at TYT Sports, a fantasy show with RotoWire editor Chris Liss and Heather Ankeny on Tuesday, and we talked about the spread and the Vikings-Saints game, and there was speculation. Well, at that point, it looked like what the Vikings had said Monday, that Adrian Peterson was going to play on Sunday. And I said, and I hope we aired it in the clip, it is inconceivable that Adrian Peterson suits up on Sunday. Inconceivable. So if you have a place that can take the Saints now, because that line's going to go up, grab it. The Zygi Wilf, the owner of the Vikings, thought that one-game deactivation of Peterson was sufficient. It is seldom that we see in America a guy misinterpreting the situation around him more than Zygi Wilf did. Man, did he not get the mood right after the Ray Rice incident. And for him to say, once the day that we essentially see the photos of Adrian Peterson's 4-year-old son and see that there isn't a 4-year-old, there is no behavior on the planet that a 4-year-old has ever engaged in that makes it okay for that. Defensive wounds, as Keith Olbermann said 3 times in his piece, defensive wounds on the boy's hands. He was protecting himself from a beating from the person he's supposed to trust most. So the Vikings did the right thing on Sunday, and then on Monday they throw out Mike Zimmer and Rick Spielman, the coach and general manager, and make these guys squirm in their seats and don't know what. They didn't want to talk to the media. They didn't make this call. But Wilf wanted him to play, applying this nonsensical standard that Peterson is entitled to due process in the NFL. Due process applies to the legal system, not the NFL. Peterson admitted it. That is the information the NFL needs. Now they can suspend him, deactivate him. He's still getting paid while they figure out what to do. The NFL sat completely on its hands, afraid to act, given the circumstances that the NFL has found itself under in the last couple of weeks. I'm puzzled by that. A guy admitted it. They have a new 6-game policy. I would have suspended him for 6 games right away. But I guess the NFL, it seems, really wanted the Vikings to act. Once the Vikings made their incredibly dumb call to go ahead and allow him to play, I imagine the call from the NFL was quick, but who knows with Roger Goodell. Obviously, the reaction from Radisson, and it's a Radisson, so it's good, from Radisson to end their limited partnership or suspend their limited partnership with the Vikings, plus hearing from other sponsors around the league, including Nike, some really important sponsors who were not so much pulling out, but expressing significant displeasure with the way things had gone in the NFL. So the NFL, again, and its teams not getting it nearly quickly enough. But in the end, we're talking about days here. The right decision was made. Adrian Peterson not playing Sunday, not playing for the foreseeable future, deactivated as it should be. But again, another poorly handled situation by the NFL that really did not have to be poorly handled at all. You would think with all the people they've hired in the last few days, somebody would be there shaking them and saying, hey, there are photos here. This guy beat a 4-year-old son. There's now accusations that he beat another son earlier, although no charges were filed. You got to deactivate him no matter how good, no matter how popular he is, no matter how many jerseys he sells. As we've learned 1,000 times, the NFL is bigger than any single player, and the league needs to act.